Okay, so I'm gonna speak on something that I wasn't necessarily intending on speaking on, and the reason for it, funny enough, is because I I just come across this guy, and I really rated him. In fact, the reason that I haven't done any more reactions is I've done two more of his tunes after doing the last one I did, but they both got copyright warnings. So that's why I haven't been active for a little while, and they were both his tunes, and I'm kind of glad that that happened because it's you're not able to see those. And I was the tunes are good. It was the Bando Diaries remix, and I think it was the tune with Millions. I don't know. Yeah, the tune with Millions. Um, and all of this while I was inactive on here, all of this madness blew up. And one of the things that people don't understand, people think that like when you think of that word like a nonce or something like that, people in the black community, we say it all the time. We act like it's not something that exists in our community. We act like it's all the Jimmy Saviles. And to be honest, yeah, when people start doing comparisons and saying all knife crime is caused by young black males or predominantly percentage wise, it's young black males. When you do the numbers percentage wise, that kind of crime is middle aged or elder white males, yeah? And it's mad, like the numbers are like 90%. But that's not to say that there's not a problem in our community, and that's not to say that it doesn't exist in our community. And one of the issues that our community has is that we tend to brush those issues under the carpet. And you kind of saw that they tried to do that. The family tried to do that, tried to just speak to a man and say, listen, it kind of didn't really happen. What are you talking about? This is a madness, and it will get sorted out. And that to me, when I saw those messages from his family, they reminded me of how this scenario often plays out in our community. In that you hush that person up. It's not always a person outside the family that's doing these things. So you kind of sometimes it's within the family, and either you don't believe the child or you just tell the child to be quiet. Do you know what I mean? I'm not here to judge my man. That is done by the courts if it gets there, um, and it's also done by his peers, people around him that are hopefully surprised and shocked, but still need to get to the bottom of this because we haven't heard his side of the story yet, and I don't know what his side is going to be. So I at this point in time, I can't really listen to his music anymore. But that's not to say that he's not going to get back from Dubai and clear all of this up. But it doesn't, in reality, it doesn't look good, regardless of what you say and regardless of what is the truth, because the fact is that what was being done was inappropriate. Regardless, there's not. I don't think there's any way you can spin this. You can't blame the minor to say that they were pushing themselves onto you. I don't think there's any way that you can spin this into your favour. So it doesn't look good. But I'll wait and hear what he has to say. And I'm not cancelling people. This I appreciate that we need to have our own standards and our own morals and our own this and our own that. But if what is being said is true, there needs to be proper justice. You see what I'm saying? It's cool cancelling him and unfollowing him on Instagram and not listening to his music and blah blah blah. But if there's an issue, there needs to be some form of justice. And the most worrying thing about this situation to me is that there's a good chance that that won't happen, because it reminds me of the time not too long ago people had the same energy towards Tim Westwood and saying he was around uni girls and blah blah blah. Don't get me wrong, I think that's wrong and effed up, and the way he would have been preying on those girls. And I know I grew up in that era of Westwood, so I know he's been on that from way back in the day. Yeah, it's only the fact that the people at his events, and I'm not saying he's been on young girls, I'm saying he's been on black women. I can't say it no other way. He's been on black girls, and the girls that are in and around him, because he plays at them kind of events, those are the black girls that he's got access to. But the fact is, from a girl's 18, as wrong as it is, and as wrong as it sounds, I don't think he's committed any crime. So how do you get justice in that situation? And I think we've got the same problem here, because in this situation, from the time I saw T. Zandos, who actually a great as an artist, but you look at her and you do not believe her age. I'm sorry, that's just the case. So from the time I saw that, I thought something's not right here. But it took me back to that Westford situation, and I said, well, she's 18, so there isn't that much you can say. What people have to appreciate is he probably knew her from when she was 17, and that's what happens in a lot of these situations, and that's part of why they call it grooming. But from the time I saw that T. Zandos thing, I thought something wasn't quite right. But then when you move forward to what the actual evidence and what people are going for his neck for, what I don't know and understand is it actually a crime? Please don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's right or appropriate, and anything that I could imagine happening to my niece or my sister or my cousin or my daughter or do you know what I mean? It's a complete 100% no. But is it a crime? I actually don't know. And in which case, he can just walk away from this scot-free, rightly or wrongly. I don't know. And what people also need to understand, and this is a little bit controversial, but it's my opinion. It's my opinion. Yeah, my opinion is that this sort of thing is a sickness, and it is difficult to cure. Yeah, people talk about Jimmy Savile and all them man there. They got away with it, and they got away with it for years because it's a sickness, and at no point did they think, fuck, this is wrong, I need to stop. Yeah, and you also got the likes of Gary Glitter, who got caught out and then came out and did the same thing again. And the amount of people that go to prison for these type of activities and come out and do the same thing again, because prison cannot fix that type of behaviour. It's a sickness. That's this my opinion. Yeah. For example, if you like my comparison, cool. If you don't, you don't. But let's talk about if you get done for murder, for example. If you've got people that you don't get on with, yeah, call them ops, right? If you got people that you don't get along with, and you buck, and you got beef, and something happens, there's an altercation, and one of you ends up being killed as a result of it, yeah, you are a murderer, yes, but you're not like someone that follows people down an alley that they don't know and have never met before and slits their throat and gets away with it, and then goes out and finds another victim running through a park that they've never met and cuts their throat. That, to me, is a sickness, and it's different to having a street fight and something mad happening. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's where I put these type of activities. I think that you cannot be cured by prison and you cannot be rehabilitated by prison. I'm not saying you can't be cured, but I'm saying this is different. It's not like you can get banged up for it and you can come out and everything's crisp. People are programmed to do certain fuckery. That's why there's a few different instances of it in this situation, and more things coming out of the woodwork. Because no, you would just in that situation. One, you'd normally dead it anyway, but who the girl actually is, you have to dead it. Like, of all people it could be, who she is, you have to dead it. Unless there's some kind of fucking sickness going on in your mind. And that's just me. That's just how I think. Maybe you get caught for doing a mad thing like this, you go to prison and you never do it again. But that's just not what I believe. I think that serial killers, I think people, nonces, and I think rapists, in my opinion, it's not, you don't rehabilitate with prison. It's that there's something wrong up here if you think that you can do that with and communicate with young girls on that level. And whatever's wrong up here isn't going to get fixed by jail or the justice system. You need therapy, yeah, real talk. You need therapy, and someone needs to sit you down and tap in up here to fix it up here, because otherwise, believe you me, 20 years from now, when a man's 40 and all of this is forgotten, the same behaviours are built into you, and you're going to do the same. I'm done. I'm not going to talk no more. I don't even know if I'm going to upload this video. For fuck's sake.